Namaste, beloveds. I have some excellent wisdom to share with you that was granted to me, gifted to me this morning. And I'm just going to give it to you the way I received it. And it is truly beautiful. Um, and I'll start off with saying this. Today is February 24th, 2019, and that equals 38, which equals 11. And we will get into that a little bit later. Also, the title of this video, this download, if that's what you want to call it, is called The Sweetness of Life is Knowing You Are God. And I'll say that again. The sweetness of life is knowing that you are God. And let's just get into it. We are the abyss and we are the temple, meaning we are everything and nothing at the same time. The abyss is the duality of the mind, meaning it is nothing, and the temple is the vastness known as God. It is everything. This was made clear to me with the first separation, shown to me as Ra riding in a boat. The waters/consciousness of the abyss/chaos. The boat/temple rides upon the waves of chaos, but it's separate from it. Its consciousness is the lighthouse, meaning the boat consciousness is the lighthouse, and the abyss consciousness is chaos. So please keep these renderings, these analogies, these comparisons in mind as we go forward. And remember, the title is The Sweetness is Knowing that You are God. So here we go with more. Apep, that which took form of a snake, rose up out of the abyss to battle/consume Ra. Apep is the attacker. Ra is the defender of his temple. The abyss is the sadistic mind. Apep is the masochistic form that represents the abyss, physical self-identity or manifested form. This identity/apep is the masochistic slave of the abyss, also known as the sadistic mind. They are dependent on each other in this relationship of two, which is master and slave. And I want to take a moment and just give you the definitions of sadistic first. Sadistic, deriving pleasure from inflicting pain, suffering, or humiliation on others. Synonyms with sadistic: callous, barbarous, bestial, perverted, vicious, brutal, cruel, savage, fiendish, cold-blooded, inhuman, ruthless, heartless, merciless, pitiless. And this is what the abyss contains. This is the chaos that the abyss contains, and this is what I am calling the sadistic mind. And this is the master. Okay? And now let's go to what APEP is, that manifestation, which is which rose up out of the abyss, which rose out of the sadistic mind, and is the masochistic slave of it. And this is what I'm going to give you the general use. Enjoying an activity that appears to be painful or tedious. Enjoying an activity that appears to be painful or tedious. And it is also deriving sexual gratification from one's own pain or humiliation. In general, again, it is enjoying an activity that appears to be painful or tedious. So I understand why Spirit chose these words, chose the sadistic mind and the masochistic self-identity of APAP. I understand the connection between the two, and that the slave was manifested from the master itself. And they are symbiotic. They are one and the same, really. That itself is the duality. That itself is the chaos. And like I said, this is just blowing me away how Mama is breaking this down for me. Okay, let's continue. And as you know, I know you know what a temple is, but let me Google that for you as well. Let's see. Temple. A building devoted to the worship or regarded as the dwelling place of a god or gods or other objects of religious reference. And I'm not going to get into it. Well, I will. Either of two successive religious buildings of the Jews in Jerusalem. The first, 957 to 586 BC, was built by Solomon and destroyed by Nebuchadnezzar. It contained the Ark of the Covenant. The second, 515 BC to 70 AD, was enlarged by Herod the Great from 20 BC and destroyed by the Romans during a Jewish revolt. All that remains is the Western Wall. Okay? The last one is a group of buildings in Fleet Street in London that stand on land formerly occupied by the headquarters of the Knights Templar. Located there are the Inner and Outer Temple, two of the Inns of Court. Now I'm going to go back to the original definition. A building devoted to the worship or regarded as the dwelling place of a god or gods or other objects of religious reverence. Okay. And this temple, like I said, was manifested as Ra, as the boat of Ra. Okay. And this, like I said, this is just blowing my mind to understand all that is being given to me and how it's being broken down, and these two terms that have been coming up, and the concept and the construct of itself of a sadistic mind being an chaotic abyss, and it manifests or gives birth to a enslaved mentality that gains its pleasure from the pain that it receives and gives out. And the temple or lighthouse or dwelling place of God And this just, like I said, it is just blew my mind. It just blew my mind. And again, this is, well, we'll get back to that. The day itself is an 11. Okay, I'm just going to go back over what I read because I want this to be so clear to you, as clear as it is to me. The sweetness of life is knowing you are God. We are the abyss and we are the temple, meaning we are everything and nothing at the same time. The abyss is the duality of the mind. The abyss is the duality of the mind, meaning it is nothing, and the temple is the vastness known as God. It is everything. So you have the breakdown of what nothing is and what everything is. The abyss is the nothing. The temple is the everything. And the abyss is nothing because of the chaos that is represented there. That is why it is nothing, because it's chaos. This was made clear to me with the first separation shown to me as Ra riding in a boat. So Ra rose up out of the abyss with a boat. That boat was the temple. Who dwelt in the boat or the temple was Ra. Ra was the god. The waters / consciousness of the abyss is chaos. The boat / temple rides upon the waves of chaos. It surfs them, it rides it. Get it? But it is separate from it. Its consciousness, the consciousness of the temple, is the lighthouse, the house of God, the house of Ra. Apep, that which took form of a snake, rose up out of the abyss to battle or consume Ra, which means it was ordered to do that by chaos. Chaos said, we can't have no boat. We can't have no God in the boat. Go do something with that. And what formed was a snake. Be wise as a snake. So the snake rose up, and this is what battled Ra. This is what tried to consume him, bring him back down into the abyss, to master him and to digest him. Show him you better come on back. No, you can't separate from us. Who you think you is? And Apep is the attacker. Ra is the defender of his temple. So Apep is the one who attacks, okay? And the one that dwells in the temple, who is Ra, is the defender of the temple itself. The abyss is the sadistic mind. Apep is the masochistic form that represents it, the abyss, physical self-identity. The identity, Apep, is the masochistic slave of the abyss, also known as the sadistic mind. They are dependent on each other in this relationship of conceived duality, which is master and slave. But really, they are just one. But they are two branches of the same. So you could say a two-headed snake, or two-headed snake, or one-headed snake, however you want to see that. But they're not two. They're just one. But that's the chaos. Understand that. The duality is the chaos of the sadistic mind. Ra, the physical representation of the temple/lighthouse, does not have a master-slave relationship with itself. It does not cling to the lie of duality. Ra knows he and the temple/lighthouse are indeed, in fact, one. Being, let me read this like I got it. Ra knows he and the temple lighthouse are indeed, in fact, one being, knowing, doing, stillness, self-identity, meaning there is no sadistic mind, there is no masochistic self in this boat, in this lighthouse. There is only God/Ra, who are, and this was showed to me, R-A-R is Ra spelled backwards, R-A. Who art thou? Who art thou? And then you add the T to that. And if you know anything about what the T stands for, it's the Tau, it's the cross. Okay? Who art thou? The word art, A-R-T. Who art thou? I am, replies Ra. I am that I am. Who art thou? I am that I am was also in the abyss. That has no beginning nor has no ending, equals awareness itself, consciousness. I hope you're getting that. But I, being light inside the dark, chose to rise up out of the nothing, the chaos, the duality of the master and the slave reality, because it is a lie. That was Ra separating itself, the Ra consciousness, the boat rose up out of the abyss, rose above it, rides on top of it. Because it realized it couldn't be part of that lie, part of that chaos. It didn't want to be anymore. It had its own consciousness. Both of these consciousness originated in the womb of the abyss, okay? The original abyss. It gets deeper. It gets deeper. It gets deeper. I, being inside the abyss, also have no beginning nor an ending. I too am everything and nothing. So this is Ra saying he too began in this abyss. And he too is everything and nothing and had no beginning or no ending, or can have no ending. Okay? Keep these things straight for yourself, because it's getting deep. This was translated in this way for me. The original abyss equals the numerical value 0. Apep is negative 0. And Ra is positive 0. From those two, mating, fighting, intermingling, all creation, all life, the universe itself was born because of this, their sacred alchemy. That is why a poisonous snake venom is also the antidote. Like I said, this blew me away, okay? And the rest is his story versus her story until now. This is the same story of Lilith and Adam. Adam being the chaotic abyss, Lilith being Ra with the temple. Okay, I mean, it gets so deep, gets so deep. It goes to all the creation stories. is just so deep, and that's why it said the rest is history, his story and her story. Okay, and we have been living in the period in the age of Pisces, which is one fish going up, one fish going down, which is a his and a her story. Signed, I am. The story is signed, I am that I am. Aset, Valerie Ames Middlebrook /God. And then, like I said, this is blowing me away. Salutations, greetings, namaste. Take me to your leader. Giggle and blush. The end and the beginning. The death and the rebirth of all and nothing. The Hieros Gamos of wisdom, also known as unconditional love. That which contains even the awareness of the abyss, she is the original womb that holds the waters from which the two snakes were before they separated. I hope you're keeping up with this. The abyss, although what was inside the abyss has no beginning or ending, the abyss itself was created, was born, was formed, I should say. But it was formless, but it was formed nonetheless. It is the one that gave birth to zero. We call her wisdom. So wisdom gave birth to the abyss. And what was inside the abyss was the abyss itself, that which fed the God that was born, that which nourished it, that which it had to separate itself or be born from. You know how the waters break. Wisdom. And when we master all and nothing, we are at home. This is known as bliss. It is the final answer to self-inquiry. Now, y'all know I've been on this journey of self-inquiry. You know I've had to, just let go of my Valerie Ames identity and everything that I have known and everything that I have held on to. And I'm getting ready to let go of even more, because this is the sweetness that I've been looking for. This is the satisfaction, baby, okay? This is home. This is the truth. And it resonates past the marrow of my physical bones. It resonates and ignites my spirit. That's why anything can be given up, because there is nothing to substitute it. There is nothing to compare it to. And there is only the joy found in maturing in this knowledge, in this way, in this knowing of being thyself, accepting it and being it, all and nothing at the same time. No boundaries, no limitations, no time, past, present, future. And you just see everything coming together, all the stories in this one understanding of thyself. Okay, let me keep going. It is the final answer to self-inquiry. It is known as bliss. And we are the master of all and nothing. And once we get to this knowing, we have arrived home. This is the sweetness of existence, is to know without a doubt that you are God, source, creator, parent, child. Rumi said, the one that brings me here to this knowing, right here, the one that brings me here is the one who must take me home. Baby, baby. That's how all of this began. You know, that's how this is spirit led. And from day to day, I have not known where it's going. I've only trusted it. You know, even with the deleting of that video, even with the feelings of, well, blah, 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 blah. And even with the next day being given and shown to go to the Bible that the flesh is battling the spirit. And understanding that I needed to put that video back up because it showed my sadistic mind doing this dance, okay? That was Apep battling Ra. That's what you saw in that video. And it's just blowing my mind. Home is unconditional, endless love. Home is unconditional, endless love, knowing that that is what you are. That is what you have always been. That is the navigation. That is the quest. That is what has been leading you forward. That is what you've known before you could put it into words. This is the memory that is being remembered. And Spirit broke it down a little bit more for me, so let me just get going with it. This is where I encountered sight. This is where I encounter with sight beyond sight, the red-tailed hawk, circling above me as it did when, just as it did when I was a child and felt myself lost and alone. And I've shared that on radio shows. I've shared that many times, that as a child, when I needed an answer to something, I prayed and I would go out in nature. And when I saw the hawk, I knew that I was doing the right thing. I was going the right way. My feelings were correct. And it has always been so. And for me to encounter this red-tailed hawk, like I say, you test spirit by spirit, baby. That's when you know. Whew, like I said, this is just blowing my mind. It is blowing my mind. It is blowing my mind. The red-tailed hawk circling above me, just as it did when I was a child and felt myself lost and alone. Welcome to the age of Aquarius, the wisdom of the water bearer, in which the sacred alchemy of rebirth is consumed, remembered, restored, replenished, reactivated by your internal, eternal Ra / I ****, sight beyond sight. So walk like an original Egyptian. Know thyself. Egypt is the physical home / material / the storehouse / the physical Akashic records of wisdom. Baby. Now think about what you know of Egypt as a civilization from all the way from the beginning. Think of where all of its treasures are now. Think of how all these centuries it's still standing, telling its story, the original story. Think of how Isis said, write this down for my children, for the children, so they will know. Okay. This is why even to this day, wisdom, her majesty, is sacred, is priceless, and is still standing because she is the storehouse. Okay? She represents the one who holds or contains the space, the vastness for the abyss, which is formless, from which Apep and Ra both came from, these consciousness that were necessary. Okay? The male and the female, understand, that needed to give birth to everything that is in existence because their essences mingled. We are representing that mingling. That is our genetic makeup. That is why we can be tuned into that chaotic mind 1 minute and tuned into the vastness of the temple the next. Okay. Egypt is the home, the physical home, the material home, the storehouse, the physical Akashic records of wisdom. That is why, even to this day, Her Majesty, and wisdom is androgynous, okay? Please understand that. It's called she, but she is androgynous. That is why even to this day, her majesty is sacred, is priceless, and is still standing, promoting or advertising nothing other than know thyself. That is the truth, wisdom, or balance, / harmony, / revelation, / bliss, / peace of mind, body, soul, and spirit, which equals oneness. Out of the many. Out of the one came many. And out of the many, we're going back to that oneness. A circle. The circle that the hawk flies in, okay? I am the eternal, immortal flower of wisdom, known as the lotus, ever rising, ever unfolding, ever blooming, ever blossoming. I am wisdom. Okay? And like y'all know, one of the names that was given was Mother with Wisdom. Common sense to its most basic. And then to read this, as many times as I sit up here and talking about unfolding, and I'm a late bloomer and blossoming and all of this, baby, what? I am that I am. I am the eternal, immortal flower of wisdom, known as the lotus, ever rising, ever unfolding. And when I saw the ever rising, that was Ra rising up out of that abyss. Wisdom rises, baby, wisdom rises. There are no heights that she can't get to and can't touch and can't create. I am, and one of my other names when all of this was going on Black Planet on my journey, Sophia of Sheba. Sophia of Sheba. Sophia means wisdom. Hakma. That's where I first learned that. So from Sophia of Sheba to Mother with Wisdom. No, Sophia of Sheba. Tahume Sophia. Tahume is vastness. Unlimited waters of wisdom. Like I said, I'm just looking at the process. So there is no denying any of it. It is just wrapping my mind around it. I am wisdom. Look into my eyes. Remember thyself and return home, from which you never truly left. Awaken from your dream and be. So it has been said, so it has been done, as above, so below. All which contains even the nothing, the zero, is indeed found in the one. Mathematically, today is February, which is the second month. Today, the 24th day of the month, and the year 2019, which was broken down like this. 2 for the month of February. 2 plus 4, which is the day, equals 6. 12 equals 2019. Equals 3. So 2 plus 6 plus 3 equals 11. The other one was 38 plus 12 is 38. If you add, no matter how you add this up, you're going to get 11. The number 11 is a gateway, a window, a door, an entrance to the I am. And am was broken down AM, morning, the rising time, the awakening time, the dawning of a new day, the birth of a new day to be I am. That I am. AKA the sun, SUN/SON of wisdom, manifested and observed by all and nothing. Behold, wisdom, the great mystery, who is my story. And in my writing, I have been using mystery, MYSTERY, and breaking it down to my story. It's not a mystery, it's my story. By all and nothing, behold, wisdom, the great mystery. Wisdom is the great mystery. Who is my story? And that is why I am that I am. Blush and giggle. And beloveds, that is what came forth today. And like I said, I am so blown away. I feel like the mother of Jesus being able to give this message. I feel whole and complete. I know who I am. There is no more curiosity. There is nothing to understand. There is nothing to believe. There is nothing to know. There's only to be and to dwell in this knowing and to keep blossoming and keep blooming in this consciousness. And like I said, it's just so truly amazing. And I am really, like I said, I'm really blown away at how these different words and images and situations have been manifesting themselves for me to get to this point. Looking back at my whole life and getting to this point and realizing none of that matters beyond this point. None of it. None of it. None of what I viewed as suffering. Because it wasn't suffering. It was wisdom working itself out. It was the lotus rising to the top, ascending and transcending that chaos. And baby, if I can do it, so can you. And I'm here to help. That's why I'm sharing. How that is going to look, only wisdom knows. Only wisdom knows. And I'll get it and receive it when I get it and receive it. Because it is my mystery. It is my story. And it is my will. And I am in agreement with it. I am that I am. Aho. Ashe, ashe, ashe. A moon, a sun, and the stars, baby. Namaste. And go over this as many times as you need to, because it is not my story. It is your story. We are one. We are one. We all came from that same abyss. Everything that exists came up out of that abyss. That was the womb of wisdom. Don't hurt yourself thinking about it. Because the truth will set you free. Namaste. And I want to say thank you, Moochie. Moochie Baba. You have taken me higher. You have returned me home. And I am so humbled and so thankful for your light, for your guidance, for your strength, for your presence. And I know we will be connecting. How that is going to be, wisdom knows. But I am thankful. I am grumble. I am grateful and humble all at the same time. Okay, that is going to do it. And again, beloveds, thank you so much. And allow wisdom to lift you up. Allow wisdom to feed you. Allow wisdom to nourish you. Wake up. You have been dreaming. Peace and unconditional love is your birthright. Bliss is only a thought away. It dwells in your temple, waiting on you to come home. Okay.